This is Part 2, Episode 16. The instigators were still hooting, but Xiao Chen quickly understood. The majority of the people also quickly come to realize, this kind of instigation won't have much effect. Those who can enter the Dragon Island were not stupid either, who would willingly let others use them as tools. It was obvious that those instigators were deliberately acting like this. They belonged to a certain alliances. The head of those alliances wanted to take this opportunity to make their move. They wanted to incite people they could trust and test Xiao Chen's strength. Then they will kill Xiao Chen in the confusion. After that, the real experts will make their move and snatch the dragon eggs. No matter where, there will always be a strife as long as people exist. The Dragon Island is the prime example. Even in an unknown land, they will fight and scheme against each other, killing each other mutually. That is something that cannot be avoided. People's heart and nature are very complicated. Nobody can perfectly describe them. The spellmaster and psychic were scared of the avalanche, so they flew high up in the sky and took the lead. However, a miserable scream followed soon after. Xiao Chen actually soared into the sky. He jumped more than 10 meters high. His entire body was throbbing with divine flame. He swept his right leg across, and actually sliced one spellmaster across the middle. The rain of blood swelled in the air. 2 halves of the body fell down from the sky. That was too sudden. Nobody ever thought Xiao Chen could actually be that fast. It almost seemed like he was flying. In an instant, he actually killed an Exuvia 3rd Celestial Layer spellmaster. To actually get killed by a martial artist high up in the sky, this was an absolute disgrace for any spellmaster capable of flying. However, the deceased could not feel the shame anymore. He had consequently lost his life for eternity. Everyone together, there is nothing to be afraid of. No matter how strong is he, there's no way he can take on our numbers. Xiao Chen's gaze was ice cold. He already locked onto the few who were yelling. Even though he knew without them yelling, those who ought to come up will still come up. Nevertheless, he wanted to get rid of these few people first to show his determination. And just at this time, more than 10 spellmaster and psychic already flew overhead of Xiao Chen. Even more practitioners that cannot fly climbed to the snowy summit. They surrounded Xiao Chen in the middle. Divine radiance flickered in Xiao Chen's pair of eyes. He was not fearful. Among these people, those who reached Exuvia 3rd Celestial Layer could already be considered an expert. There were only a few who reached Exuvia 4th Celestial Layer. If he wants to get away, he can do so without a hitch. Thunderous roars burst out from within Xiao Chen's body. The North Star constellation light screen actually appeared in front of him. This light screen was dubbed as the Sealed God by Xiao Chen. When those spellmaster and psychic in the sky shoot one after another divine radiance downwards, Xiao Chen left behind multitudes of afterimages like the shooting star. He easily dodged all the berserk energy storm. At the same time, the Sealed God light screen radiated with an incomparably dazzling radiance. It blocked a portion of the spells that were raining down on his, and he quickly rushed towards the practitioners who were besieging him on the ground. Xiao Chen already rushed into the crowds. His target was those people who lit the fire. Using his palm like a blade, he chopped Yaluoda's underling from the waist. The palm blade shone with glorious divine radiance. It was not stained by the blood at all. Continuing on, Xiao Chen left behind an afterimage in the original place, and evaded everyone's combined attack. He appeared in front of a member from Trent's Valley. His left palm lightly streaked across, and a head with terrified expression flew sideways. It gave rise to a rain of blood. The dead body only fell towards the ground after Xiao Chen left. A divine light flashed by with a swish. Xiao Chen broke away from the mob, and appeared close to another member of the Nature Alliance. The North Star light screen in front of him blocked the glaring sword radiance from view. Xiao Chen swished past like a lightning, and that person's body was actually divided into half. Xiao Chen bore through right between the 2 halves of the body. Watery blood splashed everywhere. In just a brief moment, the snowy summit was filled with miserable shriek from time to time. The blood already dyed the snowy ground red. The spellmaster's magic attack, and the psychic's bizarre attack transformed into one after another terrifying light beam. The attack landed on the snowy summit hysterically. The divine splendor made this snowy summit appear incomparably dazzling. The sealed god, light screen followed Xiao Chen closely. It kept rotating around with Xiao Chen as the center, and helped him block the infinite energy attack. Most of the attack from the spell master and psychic in the sky was successfully disintegrated. Xiao Chen's strength caused everyone to feel shocked. They originally thought they could have suppressed him with numbers, but who would have thought they would suffer casualties as soon as it started? The spellmaster and psychic would swoop down from the sky unceasingly. The terrifying spells were like a meteor shower, the bizarre attacks were more like a tide. The glaring lightning, flame, wind blade, and ice lance were wreaking havoc everywhere. However, even all of these were unable to stop Xiao Chen. After reaching Exuvia's 6th celestial layer, he can already completely bring the god of the North Star under control. He didn't have to rely on luck like that time with Lawrence. The North Star constellation flickered and lit up the sky. The resplendent rays of light almost enveloped Xiao Chen's entire body. After the spells and bizarre energies were assimilated by the sealed god light screen, the North Star constellation became much brighter. In the end, blazing rays of light rose into the sky like a volcanic eruption. It swallowed up 4 spellmaster and psychic, who were swooping down. That was a really shocking scene. There was a raging conflagration in mid-air, but that was not a flame, it was a resplendent ray of light. The sealed god light screen enclosed above Xiao Chen's head. It crushed a few spellmaster and psychic, who rushed over here in an instant. This made everyone once again realize Xiao Chen's strength and formidability. However, it is impossible for everyone to back out now. Since the situation was already like this, the spellmaster and psychic in the sky, as well as the practitioners on the ground, had no other choice but to let out a rallying cry and gang up Xiao Chen. Kill! Kill! The battle on the snowy summit was incomparably intense. The cry even shook the heaven. More than 30 practitioners were attacking Xiao Chen from all sides. The audiences on the other snowy peak were very astonished. Just what kind of realm had Xiao Chen reached? He was actually waging a war with all the outstanding heroes all by himself. His strength was really too astonishing. The light screen formed from 7 energy-converted stars was like a divine armor adorned on Xiao Chen's body. The rays of light it emitted caused even the sun in the sky to lose its splendor. Xiao Chen's hair was disheveled. He used the divine sword he seized by force to massacre the crowds. The sword aura soared forth, weaving about in rage. When Xiao Chen swept it around, nobody could stop it. Everywhere the divine sword swept past, blood gushed out unceasingly. The light screen on his external body had already transformed into a bloody screen. A bloody mist lingered on the snowy summit. The pungent smell of blood was carried by the wind. The divine sword was like a rainbow as it beheaded one fierce practitioner. Plenty of blood splashed on the summit. Cough. The iron sword was merciless. It cut off the body of one practitioner from shoulder to waist. The eerie white bones and the scarlet blood were especially unpleasant to the eyes. It caused people to be terrified. Rip dash. The blood-stained divine sword directly split open half of one practitioner's skull. The white matter flowed out, and fresh blood rushed forth accordingly. The dead body collapsed on the ground. Words can't even describe how bloody and despairing the situation was. Soon after, the blazing sword aura was raised to the sky. The dazzling light beam penetrated 3 spellmaster and psychic's body in that instant. A lot of blood gushed out from the bloody hole, and dyed the sky red. This was an extremely desperate battle. The heavens paled in fear at the blood-stained sword. When the North Star constellation soared towards the heavens, even the clouds were blasted apart. Xiao Chen had absolute supremacy in this battle. After the North Star light screen dissipated, his long hair was also stained red by the blood. Blood were dripping from the tip of the divine sword. His hair danced hysterically with the wind. His sharp gaze and lofty figure, all of these were carved deeply into everyone's heart. Even after many years later, this image will not be easy to erase. God knows who was the very first to fall apart, and ran towards the bottom of the snowy hill in fear. Soon after, everyone started to flee in disorder. The spellmaster and psychic in the sky were also trying to escape in a hurry. Xiao Chen was too scary. He was practically a demon incarnate. With so many people besieging him, he actually managed to kill more than 10 experts. He was as heartless as Azura from the underworld. completely blood-soaked and violent, he massacred without blinking an eye. The bloody smell from the snowy peak assailed the nostrils. The blood had completely dyed this snowy world with its color. The bloody mist lingered on the summit, broken limbs and body were everywhere. This was the scene of a terrifying slaughterfest. Xiao Chen leaned on the divine sword. The sealed godlight screen already dissipated a long time ago. He was stained by blood from head to toe, but he still looked as imposing as an unsheathed divine sword. Not a single voice could be heard from the two snowy peaks. It became extremely quiet for a moment. Xiao Chen's strength and formidability caused many to feel fearful. The majority of the people came to watch the battle. The people who wanted to conspire against him also turned somewhat taciturn. Even those who could cross swords with Xiao Chen have no choice but to reassess the situation. Suddenly, a dazzling rain of light fell from the whole sky like the stars, just at this moment. The target was Xiao Chen. Even though the energy fluctuation was very far away, numerous audiences could still feel it. Those energy-converted knife blades possessed power not inferior to Xiao Chen. The divine swords were as dazzling as rainbow. Xiao Chen left behind multitudes of after-images at the snowy summit, and the long sword in his hand emitted one after another blazing rays of light that clashed with the rain of swords. Just by relying on his instinct, he could tell that this is a powerful enemy. Presently, he still haven't discovered any traces of the opponent. All of a sudden, it seemed like the divine sword in Xiao Chen's hand had lost its power. The rain of swords were becoming much more concentrated, but those seemed like a mirage. Those rain of swords were not really conjured by spiritual power. The genius illusion master, Carlos. Xiao Chen immediately guessed who it was. Even though he knew those were illusions, Xiao Chen didn't dare to lower his guard, because the real rain of swords might be hidden within. At the same time, Yang Qingcheng rose from within the ice and snow. Her devastatingly beautiful complexion was unreal. Her purple dress fluttered along with the wind. She seemed much more spectacular on this snowy summit. In that instant, the snowy summit was illuminated by a purple radiance. Yang Qingcheng was like a fairy dancing in the breeze. She was flying at low altitude. Purple aura lingered on her entire body, and formed a pair of almost transparent purple wings, which allowed her to fly for a short period of time. At this moment, she seemed really out of this world. The beautiful Yang Qingcheng transformed into a streak of purple light in the sky. She finally executed the legendary Undying Demon technique. One after another purple radiance were launched from her two hands. They were launching towards Xiao Chen like purple lightnings. Yang Qingcheng was at Exuvia 5th celestial layer. This made Xiao Chen's heart shivered with cold. No wonder she dares to challenge him to a hide-and-seek game. If he didn't make a breakthrough to 6th celestial layer, it is hard to say who will win. And right now, his opponent was not only Yang Qingcheng, the genius illusion master, who was hiding in the illusion seemed to have reached Exuvia 6th celestial layer already. There's not much he could do about that illusory spiritual attack. Moreover, the successor of Xiao Li the Flying Dagger did not show his face yet. Xiao Chen decided to retreat temporarily, and take care of them one by one later. After all, one of them was a 6th celestial layer illusion master. If they really cross their swords, it will definitely be a fight between dragon and tiger. In addition to Yang Qingcheng, and Wharton who hasn't shown his face yet, this situation was anything but reassuring for Xiao Chen. However, the genius illusion master Carlos finally began for real just at this time. Several hundred exact copy of a golden-haired youth appeared all around Xiao Chen. Without a doubt, those were all illusions, only one of them was the real Carlos among them. Carlos' appearance could not be considered handsome, but his temperament was outstanding. This kind of people was the so-called promising young talent. One could tell from a single glance that he will inevitably become very powerful, and saw the sky sooner or later. His blue pupils were as deep as the ocean. It made people dare not to meet him head-on. The illusion made by Carlos enveloped the entire snowy summit. Sharp swords, long swords, lightning, heavenly flame, etc., attacks of every substances and energies were wreaking havoc on the summit. It seemed like several hundred people using all kinds of bizarre attack at the same time. The thunderous roar was ear-splitting, resplendent divine blades streak across the void, inexhaustible heavenly flame turned the sky scorching red. a wide expanse of brilliant light energy rained down like shooting stars. Countless illusions surfaced in this ice and snow world. It was an extremely grand scene. It seemed like a big war was taking place, and not a battle between two individuals. This made everyone shake in their boots. Such a formidable illusion master. Xiao Chen was in deep trouble. He didn't dare to neglect any of these attacks on the summit, because he was unable to tell which were real and which were illusory. Genius illusion master Carlos lives up to his name. The terrifying energy surged forward like a torrential river. It was rolling over and over like the vast ocean. The summit turned into a frenzy. It was extremely mind-blowing. It was already impossible to distinguish between reality and illusion. Xiao Chen's disheveled hair rose to the sky, his pupils were as bright as the stars, and his lofty body remained as still as a pine on the snowy summit. However, the divine sword in his hand already changed into hundreds and thousands of overlapping images. The resplendent sword aura already formed into a concentrated light net, and blocked off all the terrifying attack. Moreover, the sealed god light screen emerged once more. It enveloped his body and stopped the endless barrage of energy. If he could not find Carlos' real body, then this battle will never come to a conclusion. His pair of eyes emitted a light essence, and tried to search for Carlos' real body among the thousands of concentrated light screen. At the same time, he had to confront Yang Qingcheng, who was flying with a pair of light wing. Only, even after consuming his power unceasingly, he was still unable to find Carlos' real body. It was only because Xiao Chen's life energy was far more vigorous than ordinary people, otherwise he wouldn't be able to last this long. Endless divine radiance emitted from his body unceasingly. Not only did he had to support the god of the North Star light screen, but first things first, he had to fend off layers upon layers of illusory attacks. And finally, Xiao Chen discovered a loophole, a completely negligible loophole. With his sharp intuition, he caught winds of the indistinguishable heartbeat sound, and found the location of Carlos' real body. Xiao Chen sent Yang Qingcheng, who was swooping down, flying with a single sword blow, his entire person transformed into a streak of light beam, and dashed forward. His target was Carlos' real body. Dozens of interweaving lightning charged towards Xiao Chen. Even more raging inferno plunged towards him from all directions. He wanted to stop Xiao Chen from advancing. Several waves of terrifying sword rained down one after another. All of these spiritual attacks were real, none of them were illusions. Xiao Chen laughed grimly. He was even more certain that was Carlos' real body. Xiao Chen swept the divine sword in an arc. Dozens of light screen and the inexhaustible raging inferno were destroyed. His lofty figure was like a god of death, as he broke through the obstacle. However, just at this moment, Xiao Chen felt the hair on his entire body was standing on end. An ominous premonition arose in his mind. He felt great dangers enveloping himself. Even though he destroyed the rain of swords in front of him, one of them was especially bright. It was like a comet, which had streaked across the vast sky from long distance. The brilliance caused him unable to open his two eyes. The long sword in his hand was shattered by that glaring light. It was Xiao Li's flying dagger. The legendary certain kill throwing knife. This video will end here.